Okie, we have a new project today. So I wanted to get away from all this realistic rigging that's been going on, or that I've been focusing on, and just do some fun stuff. So you'll be able to hear some paper where I've done some really loose sketches of like basic, I don't know what you would call them, biomechanical machines or something like that. But they're all different simple shapes put together, and then they're going to be rigged. So there's a variety of them, and I'll put the image on the screen. But I just wanted to play around with some simple rigging and then focus on the animation and how it actually moved instead of focusing just on the rigging. So that's what we are going to do. I'm going to break them down by each machine. So like this is the plunger machine or something where these little elements would go inside of it, and then one would come out on the top and then like tip the whole thing around like with the weight of it. So kind of like acting like an antenna or something like that. This one is going to have arms that will be like, this will be attached to here, and this will pull, this will pull in and then compress this spring, and then this will be like a little hinge. There will be two of them. So one will be like 45 degrees, and then one will be negative 45 degrees or whatever you want to call it. And there will be a little joint in between, and it'll be on both sides. And then there will be two legs down here that kind of mimic the movements. And this one is like a circle thing where the middle target comes out and then pulls all the other ones with it, kind of like a jellyfish, I guess. And then this one is just like a two-leg inchworm. So this is how it would be when it's totally flat. And I don't think it'd be totally flat when it was moving, but that's what that one is. So we are going to focus on one of these simple machines, and I think I'm going to do this one first, just because it's the most straightforward. All right, so we'll just do a new, and we will drop everything in here. And we'll paste it right there. Okay, and I don't know if that shows up, but the color difference between this and this is very big. And I think I've talked about this before, but if not, under proof setup, Illustrator defaults to CMYK, which is kind of annoying because in After Effects it will import it as RGB, and it will look more vibrant and bright, and sometimes that's why your renders don't look like what your CMYK values or whatever do. And then I just got a little flat UI library swatch, and I've been kind of using these. Okay. So what we need to do is, or what I want to do is unify the sizing on these. 50, and 50, and I'll just hit this so I only have to type it once this time. All right. 50, and this should be 50 by 50, and this is 15 by 125, which I think will be good. I'm not sure of how I'm going to do an overlap. Like I haven't decided if I want there to be a white border or if I just want it to be a solid piece of color. But that can almost be figured out later on. Yeah, I can't quite tell. So we're just going to try to do it one way. Okay, so I'm going to base everything off of the center square and align to artboard. Center, center. All right, and now I'm going to select everything else, and we can center it this way, and then we can move this to 650. No. 680, I guess. I just want there to be room, and I want it to be clear what's going on. Okay, I'll do it like this. So I'm just holding down the shift and using mouse wheel up and down. And we should be good. But there's one more step. We've got to break this down. So I will select everything and come up to here and hit release to layers sequence, and this puts everything on its own layer. It's still in this layer 1, but now we can pull it out of there and get whatever. So I will copy everything again, and I'm just going to paste it back to layer 1 and then turn that off and call this original art. And then we're going to have our center square, and this will be a foot left, foot R, this is, well, I'll do leg left and leg R. Okay, and then so these are the same color, which is what I want, but I will be lazy and do this. Anything that is a duplicate, I'm going to make a little text thing, and then we can come in here and turn these off after the fact. So I think an R is probably good enough. Okay, and I want to make sure that these boxes, these text boxes, are all inside of these shapes, because sometimes that seems like it can screw up your whatever. Okay, so I will save this, and it's going to go into my R&D folder, and this will be called the Inchworm Walker, something like that. I think doing that will work just fine. I'm working on a different project, so I'll just save this. File, new project. File, new project. All right, there's no reset. Think of a different program. Okie dokie. So now, R&D, R&D, Inchworm Walker, import, retain layer sizes, import, and double click to open this up. Okay. So immediately this is kind of small, but I think that'll be okay. I don't need the duration. I'm going to check these things. I'm going to move these anchor points to this leftmost part on here, and everything else will be all right in the center. Okay, so the way that this guy will walk, it'll be like this moves up and these are linked to it. It'll be something like this, and then they'll just inch along. You'll see. So let's just link it up. Left foot to left leg, right foot to right leg, left leg to, and right leg to center square. There we go. So we got this. We got this. Okay, so I want to, all this is going to be behind the square, And I want it so when it's down, you can't see that little broken piece right here. So I'm going to move it in more, but for these, I just want the values to be a little bit more. So if that's 0, I'm gonna go over. All right, and one thing I'm going to do is, what's the best way to do this? Square like this? Rectangle, I mean. That's awful. Okay. This is the background, and I'm just going to lock it so we know the halfway point or whatever. Okay, so inchworm walker, and I'm going to duplicate this comp, and we're going to call this one rigged. Hopefully. I want to move this up. Okay, I'm going to have to think about this because I have done 0 planning other than just some sketches. So I think what I might want to do is actually animate it, taking a step, and then we'll go from there. So we will be moving the center square and the left and right. Nope, we can just lock these ones. Nope, not do that. Shy them, turn them off for now. We'll be dealing with rotation on these. -5 and -63, so -65. All right, so first thing I'm going to do for this guy is try this, a slider. Drag it on there, and these are equal values. Okay, and I'm just going to put a +65 on here, and I'm going to rig up the right leg. Oops. Lock this down, rig up the right leg, enter, and it won't move, but it is controlled by this now, which is good. And then for this is a +65. So what we're going to do is multiply it times a -1. Okay, and now when we do this, we get this little thing going on, which is kind of what we want. We could almost do like a little animation of a guy who, like a jellyfish. So I like that idea. What I'm gonna do is duplicate this, inchworm walker, lely, jellyfish animation, and we're just gonna keep on with what we started. Okay, so now what I want to be able to happen is for there to be a new null that is here. Let me make this, nope. Solid settings. Let me make this 50 by 50 so it's smaller. what I'm going to do is unshy these, link it to the left foot. Unlink it from the left foot. Zero out the rotation. And these are 50 wide, so that's a 25 radius, so we can go position negative 25? Nope. Nope. Plus 25. There we go. Okay, so this is the left foot, and this is going to be blah. Okay. Zero it out, open up the position, plus 25. Okay. So this is kind of what I'm thinking we should have. R&D, Adobe R&D. I'm not going to update anything. But what we want to happen is have an ability to rock the thing. It's kind of like a foot roll, and that might be exactly what we end up using, but we just won't have a middle point. But we're going to have to troubleshoot this all the way through, which is great. Okay, so right now this is linked to this, but we're going to link the center square to one of the feet. I think it's going to go to the right foot and then the right foot to the left foot. Okay, so what that does is lets us tilt this up, and then he can go down or whatever he's doing, and then this lets us tilt up this way. All the while this is attached to that. Okay, so let's try to do a little simple walk cycle thing. So he is just going to tilt up here. These are rotation values. Oh, okay. So we got our first problem already. We need to link these somehow to this. Strange. Really is. Okay, so I paused it because I was getting extremely frustrated and feeling really stupid and incompetent. What I was doing is just making it more complicated. We don't need to get the toe roll working or anything like that, because all I need to have happen is ignore what is on here. All we need to have happen is have this point be kind of like the knee, and then have this bar be this little leg right here, and this foot be this little object here. And then this is all going to be the thigh. So once we have that set up, then we can get something like this. And this is almost going, but this is what I was looking for. And this is going to work perfectly for our little inch guy. And then we'll just like figure out a way to attach this right here and clean up all this crap. So we are going to come back in here and start over. What I did was extend these rectangles to be a little bit longer, so they go to the center point of the foot and to the center point of this shape. And now what we can do is we don't need to have, well, we'll just keep it the same way, but I'm going to save a copy, revamp, because this is the smarter way to do it. And if I was smart, I would use the colors on this and then switch them later. Now we'll come back in here and we will import file. Come on, you can do it. Revamp, import, retain layer sizes. There we go. All right. I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling really good. So we have our right thing. This plus this is going to be our thigh, but we are just going to link this to the right foot and shy it, lock it, hide it, whatever you want to call it. So it's not there. This is all we have. And you can see it's kind of acting as one chunk. This we also ignore. We could link this to, actually, let's link this to the right leg. So this will go like this, but whenever this rotates, this will rotate the negative number. That will make sense later. And this, we are going to move the anchor point to here. Let's also just be safe and move this anchor point to here, which is the center of the circle as well. This is the shin bone or calf, whatever you want to call it. And then this is our foot. And targeting in the middle is absolutely perfect. So let's try this. Our thigh is the right leg. Our tibia is the left leg. The foot is the left foot. And we don't need anything else. I don't know why that is happening, but we've got this little walker going, which is freaking awesome. That's all I've been trying to do and looking like a real nerd alert. Okay, so we're going to animate this. It created one controller for us, and animate this. And I'm just doing this to give us a clean little idea of what's happening. All right. And on here, what we're going to do is open up the rotation of the right leg. And we are just going to do what we did before, where it's times the -1. Okay, so this should always be flat. Doom. Doop. This is wonderful. And we can raise this up. Set it down, whatever, lift it up slower. Okay. And now he is going to, so if I rotate this, it's not doing anything. And that's okay, because it would require linking everything. Oh, that's weird. There would be some other stuff to it. I want to know if you can animate the anchor point. Well, you can. Just one sec. All right, we're back. All right, so we're going to animate this little guy too. Starting here. And this is where you might want some overrides and rotate this guy up a bit. And we will program that in right now with a slider. And what we're going to do, plus this, we'll just do this. And since it's adding, you can add negative numbers or whatever. And you can keyframe that value. So that'll be there. And I'm sure there's a way that you can take the rotation value that's being created on one of these and like oops, not this. Let me do this. So this transformation divided by 2. Let's see if that, okay. Times 2. Let's do a times 2. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Let's do it times 4. Let's really break it. It spins. And that's kind of interesting, actually. Just to get some more automated animation going on. Okay, so we move our left leg over. And then we're going to move our right leg out. And this really can just be this keyframe. Scoot it over like that. Delete this out. We'll just pull these Beziers up so it's stepping. And then we get this one again. Keyframe it. Scoot it on over. Pull this guy up. Click on here, and we will toggle hold. There we go. Stepping. Boom, boom, boom. Doop, doop, doop. We're just going to make him continue to walk off screen. Toggle hold. Well, we'll do a F9 first and then toggle hold. F9. Be a toggle hold. Doop, doop, doop. Toggling these back frames to holds. And this is gonna be one here with a hold. And one more, oops. Just going straight, so nothing complicated, whoops. Up, click on this one, see if we can get this, there we go. Click this here, and then from here we can get this guy. Click here, toggle hold, and stepping off. Oops. And then we can RAM preview it. All right, and this looks weird. And this, we could just like, you could even wiggle this value just to switch between a few things. But I'm very happy with this. And now we can come in here, delete, 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 file save, cleans it off. And that is like way too slow, but you get the gist, folks. So we just used DUIK to make something that was not realistic, and it worked pretty well. Stumbled at the beginning, but we got it going. Bloop, 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 bloop. And a lot of these little pauses and stuff, it depends if you want there to be a hold frame before something happens, because these could be right on top of each other and it might work better. Or like a one frame difference. Some of these longer holds might look weird. But that is the first in the series of tiny little machines that I'm going to be working on. I hope you got something out of it, like at least just like thinking about using some tools in just a different way than you may have thought, and troubleshooting problem that comes up. But I think this is kind of cool, and if it's like a little background detail or something, it could just add some visual interest. Shorter, longer legs, see how things look, bigger, smaller appendages. It would be really, really cool. So thank you for watching. If you have any problems, email and I will get back to you.